So how's it going, my comic chat army? We're here today with Alex Dawe, the creator of Zener. What is it, Master of the Minds?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, and this is live now on Kickstarter, right?
In a few weeks it will be. We're on the pre-launch sequence, so we're getting his voters signed up, and we're actually doing pretty well. We've got like 35 so far. Our goal is to hit 50 before we actually launch, but we'll be launching on February 17th, and it'll be going from there until like March 18th.
All right. Is this your first? This isn't your first comic, right?
No, well, technically it is the first one we started, but it's not the it's not the first one we did. The first one we did was Empress, and we rebooted that back a while bit just because we realized it was at that age where we didn't like have our best storytelling abilities, and we wanted to update it with the fresh ideas. But Zener is kind of one we stuck to all the while, just because like my I'm the creator of it, and I let my editor write it because he had the style I needed for it, and this has kind of been a big project for him because he wanted to do something where he completed a whole saga. He's heavily influenced by manga and anime, like these overarching story arcs, and he wanted to do something with Zener. And it's like he's my best friend, and I wanted him to do this because I know how much it meant to him. And so we did Zener, and we finally got the first 4-volume done, and we're launching the Kickstarter for it. It's been a hell of a journey, but we also got a lot more comics in the works that we're actually very excited about. But Zener is our first full book. It's our first graphic novel, and we're hoping it's going to be the one that will launch us, at least put us on the map so we can fund our other projects and then say we got a completed book on our hands. We're credible creators. Look, like here we go. We're up there with the big guys now.
So your very first book offering to the world is going to be a trade?
It is. It is. I should mention that Zener and all our other comics are available on our Patreon to read for our subscribers, and that's where they currently post while they're in production. But this will be the first chance that a reader can get all 6 issues of Zener in a book, in trade paperback, for them to read and hold in their hands that we're offering. So it's our first one that we're going to offer on a Kickstarter, and it's hopefully the first one we put in stores.
Nice. Have you already talked to stores?
Yeah, we've actually been talking to a few stores for years now. Like while we've had the book in production, we've put out single issues, and we started putting in like small comic shops and a few goodie stores. We're actually trying to go back to the gas station method. So like gas stations used to fund all gas stations or pharmacies. They used to hold like racks of comic books. And like they don't do that anymore, but we want to bring that back because we realize it's an untapped market, and they still sell like magazines and sometimes small books there. And there are a lot of small stores that would just be perfect for selling our book. And we're trying to tap into that market because comic books are really hard to get into unless you're a big company like what's the big one everyone uses that's had some issues over the years.
Diamond,
yeah. So unless Diamond, you have to make a certain amount of money off your books in order to stay on there. So we're kind of funding it now, but like we're hoping that once we have Zener, it'll show that we have credibility as a book, and we can pull this out there and say, here's a great book, you're gonna love it, classic superhero, but with modern twists and unique storytelling, great characters. Read it because you will love it. It will blow your mind.
And it's for all ages, right?
Pretty much. We like to picture it as like middle school and up. So like middle schoolers can use it, or like within that range. Like I think like 4th grade might be like pushing it, but like it is for all ages for mostly. But it's not like very dark or immature like I say what like classic Spawn comics would be, or like say Savage Dragon is sometimes. It's generally for all ages, but it's definitely like like for a more polished reader, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think you're the first person I've interviewed in almost 200 interviews to say you want to go back to the grocery store method. That's cool.
Yeah, well, it's one of our progress. It's like, and honestly, it's an untapped market that we want to do because, like, I mean, if we can do it, it would really help us because people goes to more grocery stores than they do comic books. And they go to pharmacies, they go to bookstores, they go to gas stations, and if we can just like put our books in there and people say it, that's a big market, And like we want to bring that back because if we can pull it off, then we can offer that to other indie comic creators who are trying to put it out there. And energy is huge on supporting fellow indie creators because that's how we succeed in this business. That's how we make it against the big two. That's how we all booster each other up. I mean, like you look at any Kickstarter or any Indiegogo, and every book is backed by another creator because they want to they want their products back too, but also because they support each other.
Yeah, I think this is the only type of business that I've seen people do that. Like, it's everybody helps everybody. It's like that saying, "All ships rise," or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Or it's like Will Ferrell and Semi-Price, like everybody love everybody.
I think that's going to be the title of this interview.
Yeah, I like
Alex
that.
Dawe, everybody loves everybody.
Everybody love everybody.
How long has this book been in the works?
I think it's been 3 years now. So we've averaged about like 2 books per years. We're very lucky to have an artist who has like a great like drawing style and also fast production and great pricing. Shout out to our artist Juan from the Philippines. If you're watching this, we couldn't have done this without you, and we hope this book helps your career take off too. And it's like we've averaged like 2 issues per year, and so I guess you could say we've been doing this since 2020, like during the pandemic. That's kind of I mean we were locked down, so we figured we might as well start making books. We can't make money off them right now, but we're going nowhere, so we might as well work on our books. We made production of our time.
Did you release them all digitally?
Yes, and we have been working to get them, put them online to get them sold on indie stores, mostly like Kablam. But it's like we love Kablam. It's easy to print with, and they're great pricing, but it's impossible to get on their store list because it's a long wait list. So far we have like 3 issues of Zener on there, and we're working to get our other comics on Kablam too.
Have you thought about Amazon? They have a print on demand.
We have thought about that, and we're looking into that right now, actually. We want to wait until actually we can get the book funded, though, just because if we can get the graphic novel put on there, I think that'll we'll be able to not only make a little more money, but also they'll be easier to put on there. It's like people have the full book. They want to wait for every single issue to come out.
So 1 through 6 is already completed. It's ready to go. All you need to do is the Kickstarter, fund the money, and print.
That's correct. So it's like we tried Indiegogo once, but we didn't have the book completed. It was like now we know that people need the fully funded book because they don't like waiting. Unless like a book is like super big, like with a big name, people don't really want to wait for it. They want the book now, and we want to deliver that book to them right now. And we didn't want to do it with just single issues because we didn't want to keep them waiting. Just fund every issue. We wanted to give them a full book because I think when it comes down to it, people like the single issues, but I think they would rather collect a full story just to have everywhere.
Yeah. So is this a complete arc?
It is. It is. So to give a little background about the story, if I can.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Zener is a story about a young man named Axel who is born with incredible psychic abilities, but he doesn't have the power to control them. And he grows up in this world where superheroes are kind of a popular medium. There's no real ones, but there are like franchises within our universe who have superheroes. Anyway, so one day when Zener's getting his powers checked out, like he unknowingly causes an accident that causes him to be taken away to a corrupt facility operated by this organization called the Think Tank, which is this collective science network who makes a lot of money trying to improve the world through science, but through less scrupulous methods. And it's in this asylum that they're experimenting on superhumans with kinetic abilities. And Zener spends his whole like young adult life there, and until one day he finally manages to make an escape plan to get out. And in doing so, he makes a vow that after everything he's been through and everything that's all these other people have been through, he is going to make a vow to use his powers to protect others. So this story is about his origins from how he gets his powers to when they start blooming to when he ends up in an asylum to his breakout and then finally his first big battle.
Yeah. What is the name of the villain?
Actually, that's the fun thing about this book is that like there are multiple villains in this book. I mean, he faces off against like a shadow manipulating murderer called Nocturne, a huge like kinetic, like user sniffing beast used by the think tank called Chimera. And the asylum is run by supervillains. One is called Anti-Venom, who is a scientist who specializes in toxin and animal poisoning to create weapons. And then he also faces off against, and early in his book, even as a young age, he faces off against small villains, like a couple assassins, because that's how he loses his family. Will try to capture him. So Xehanort is not just facing one villain in this book; he's facing a whole rogues gallery of them that we hope to carry on to the rest of his series.
Nice. Are you doing any book signings this year or any Comic Cons?
We'd like to. Right now, right now, we're busy getting ready to the Kickstarter. Actually, I do want to make it up. I'm part of a comic book club, and I want to give a shout out to the Iowa Comic Book Club. I'm part of the club, and every year we put on a mini con twice a year. One in the winter spring, and one in the winter fall season. And we have our winter spring con coming up on February 22nd, I believe, and I will be there signing issues of our books, promoting the book. And it's a great place if you just wanted something to do during a winter day. There will be a lot of indie creators there. There will be a lot of artists and vendors, cool stuff. It's a very great con. So that's where we'll be mostly this year. But we also want to branch out to other cons because I live in the Midwest, like smack dab in Iowa. And I say that this is an untapped gold mine for creators because I am right in the middle of all these major Midwestern towns: Chicago, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Indianapolis, that have their own Comic Cons, and it's just a short drive for me. So there's a lot that indie creators do in this Midwest company, because it's impossible to get the East or Western coast because the big two have those pretty much knocked out, and they're expensive to get to. But I'm just within driving distance of all these, and my goal is to do every single one every once a year if I can.
Or maybe you could bring them all together and start the new NYC or San Diego in the Midwest.
I would like that. That would be really cool. Yeah. And I think if I could do that, I would like to do it through my my comic book club because we've tried to go big before and it's never worked out. But we want to get to the point where we can do big again.
Right. I think if you scale slow, I think y'all could pull it off.
That's what we're doing. We know it's going to take us some time, but I know eventually we're going to get to the point where we can do big.
That's cool that y'all do a Comic-Con twice a year.
It is. It's the point of the con is not like celebrities or anything. It's to share a love of comic books and culture with new readers and new people, like younger generations, get them interested, bring old generations together. We have, like I said, we have a lot of vendors, we have a lot of artists who come, we have a lot of like businesses who do stuff, and we also do out cosplay. So we always encourage people to do their own costumes, and sometimes we'll give out prizes for the best costumes. It's a lot of fun.
Is it just a one-day con?
It is, yes.
That's pretty cool.
It usually takes place on a Saturday.
That's pretty cool. You're doing a lot of cool and interesting things going on up there in the Midwest.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. A lot of people say the Midwest is boring, but that we gotta make our own fun. But it's you gotta search for the fun. There's actually a lot of pretty cool stuff to do in the Midwest. I mean, just look at Chicago or Kansas City. You got great jazz music, barbecue, sports teams. College sports is a huge thing here. There's really a lot to do in the Midwest. You just gotta. It's not big and touristy like you might find in New York or Los Angeles, but that's what's great about it. It's not as so busy. There's a lot to do. We even have music festivals in here. The most popular one is I forget what it's called, but it happens every year. And so we got a lot of great indie bands come out. What is it called? It's always on the tip. I always forget what it is, but it's just this huge. It's this huge music festival that takes place out in this prairie field where people camp out. They have all these great bands, indie bands, sometimes DJs, and it's really awesome.
It's not The Gathering, is it?
No. It's Hinterland. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's called. So it's the big summer music festival out in the Midwest.
So we was talking about our favorite comic creators before we started filming. So dead or alive, who would you like to make a comic book with?
Ah, shit. I'm gonna do both dead and alive. So, right off the top of my bag, the one I would want to make with alive is Robert Kirkman because he's been a big, huge influence on me, and like I've loved everything he's put out from Invincible to Wolfman, and a lot of my style is influenced by his. So I would just love to just sit down and make a comic with him. Let's see, but honestly, if I were to do dead, I think honestly I would just love a chance to work with Jack Kirby. You know,
Mm,
just like do a Marvel method where he draws the book, I do the story, and have that cool classic sci-fi Kirby Crackle fourth world imagery that we got going on. You know,
yeah, like the New Gods.
yeah. But I
Yeah,
think also if I could make a second choice for dead, I would think Neil Adams because Um, just because like the guy was like a big like he advocated for creators like us. He changed the game. He made it so like we actually made money off of what we do. He influenced fair treatment. He was a voice of the people.
Um, what social medias are you on?
Our biggest one is DeviantArt. We are also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon. Um, we're also on Linktree, and we have a YouTube channel we don't use much, but we're trying to use it more. So, yeah, but our biggest one is DeviantArt, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon.
What's the name? Do you have the same name for across
Uh,
them all?
Pretty much, you can just find us by typing in NRG Comics. And that's NRG, like just the letters. It's a spoof on energy. So, and
Hey,
you can just like find us by typing us in the search bar, and we will appear up.
I like that. I was gonna ask you what did NRG stand for.
Yeah, we just wanted something like unique that bold that like said, and it was like one day I just like, oh, we want to give our characters energy, so like, why don't I just make a pun of it? NRG. It's simple. It says it. It's good, and we got like these cool like neon colors with our logo. It just really works.
Okay. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
I want to offer some advice to furniture creators out there, and this is like I always try to. If you're like me and you're always coming up with like new ideas and like you're just like a fire hydrant ideas trying to figure out ideas spilling out and you're never sure which one to focus on, the one that is always on your mind that you keep coming back to, that you think about 24/7, that is your passion. That is your project that you will care about more than everything, and that is what you should focus on.
I I like that.
Thank you.
Um, I appreciate you taking the time to come talk with me.
Oh, I appreciate you having us on. This has been awesome. I can't wait to be back in the future.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that. Let me know when you want to come back.
I will. I will. Like we'll probably soon we'll have new comics out, and like we'll be love to introduce the rest of our series to the group.
Um, really quick, what's the other books that you're making?
Right now, what we got in the books is we've got a rebooted version of Empress, which was our first book, and that's a story about an evil industrialist who gets a second chance at life by becoming her Mother Nature's herald. Our biggest, most anticipated book, however, is Toon Man: The Animated Ace, and I like to pitch it as Roger Rabbit meets Superman. It's about a cartoon character who comes to our universe to find purpose again and ends up becoming a superhero. We got a team book in the works called Marauder Rogueway Pirates, and it's about superheroes that are also modern day pirates. So they're kind of bordering on the law. It's our big team book. So it's like one of the teams we got going on. It's like it's takes a lot of influence from manga and like superheroes. It's really awesome. And we also got like we're also working on getting an imprint of energy going called Neo Rocking Graphics, and that's our entirely manga based, manga influence based. So that's like more of our just like unique ideas. But one we got going out there is called High Treason League. And it's about a kingdom where where the throne has been abdicated. Anyone can be king, but they have to fight for it. So it's like all these small leagues in this magical kingdom fighting each other as a battle shonen, trying to be the one true king.
That is awesome. I like it. I like them all.
Thank you, thank you. We're very excited for them.
I'm gonna let you go for now, but thank you, Alex.
Oh, thank you. This has been really awesome.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comic Chat Authority? Oh, come on. Subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.